Howdy, I am back. I'm going to do a review of what is a converter to convert an Instax wide to Instax square. Now this, you may say, well, this doesn't look like an Instax wide camera. It did not start off that way. This is I've done a video on this camera before, but it's a Polaroid 110 from the 60s. It's a A, to be specific, 110A, but it's got a 110B rangefinder on it, and I had my badass builder in San Antonio put a back. You might recognize that, as that is a Instax wide back from a 210 camera on the back. It's on there permanently. It's not one you can take on and off. I have another camera like this that lets me change out backs from like Polaroid integral to peel apart to 6x9. But anyway, I came across on Impossible Project Facebook page, someone mentioned a conversion tool, which we will get to here. I'm going to lower this. I'm trying to use my light box here, which normally I just use for pictures, but let's see. Hopefully it will suffice. Let's see, get a little lower there for this. Alright, so what you are looking at, of course, is how you open it up, and these are the adapters, which I've already installed one. Actually, I had both installed, but I wanted to kind of run through how you do these. They sell two different kits. This kit I have is for the 200, 210, and 300, all kind of have the same kind of back. They also sell a totally separate one, which is a big square for the 500 AF and 100, which majority of folks in America aren't going to have. You usually have to get those off eBay from Japan. So, what this basically does is, in case you don't know, integral film, which we have a pack here, it has these little guides here, press. Instead of Polaroid uses metal springs, but Instax, they use these guys to put pressure so that it pushes up the next picture up against the frame line so it can shoot. So basically, they send you these two guys. Let's see, and they do include instructions, which I will scan them in. They have a video for the 100, which I don't even think it's their company, but it's another. I did not see one. Let's get that right. So I'll scan these in. They do show you instructions. So yeah. So basically, what they tell you to do is these little guys here. They're not down with any kind of screws or anything. See this little slot here, and if you press that up, it will slide out. As so, this one slides this away, so they both slide towards the middle. And on this one, the slot is on the inside here too, so they're both on the inside. Their directions tell you that. So you pop this out of here like that, and you will notice, if I can see that spring? My camera's focusing too well there. The phone, there we go. Well, it's probably too close for it. But yeah, you get the idea. There's a little spring in there, and that's what pushes it up. So what they have you do is you just take that spring out. It's got two little notches there. You one on the outside on each one, and all you do is you take the piece they give you, and you transfer it over, and it should. I had mine kind of backwards the first time, and it kind of wanted to fall out. If it's in there right, it should kind of stay, because if it's not staying, when you go, of course, to flip it over, it wants to drop out. So they show on the instructions which one goes where. You'll notice this one, they aren't identical. This has a little tab on it. So this is the top piece. They say to put it in there. Let's see if I can see around my camera. All right. Camera, my phone, I mean. So it just slides in there. You notice it did not pop like this one actually locks into place. There's a little ridge right here. It's kind of, let's see if I can show that. It's kind of raised up See where it raises up there? And of course, with for a while there, I was trying to kind of, because they say, you know, push it into place, and I was expecting it to lock. And then it occurred to me with this, I guess this is structural, this little round piece here, that it's never going to, you know, lock over that, because it just, I don't think it's possible. I did email them to say, am I doing something wrong? We will hear back. But yeah, I'll get to that in a minute. Now the other piece, they give you a little 2 pieces of tape here that you apply here, so when you slide it, I'm not going to take it off because it's already taped down. So when you slide this one on, it's just as loose as well, but there's a little piece of tape underneath here, double-sided, that holds it down. So, that being said, I think maybe they're just figuring gravity is going to hold this one in. When you close it, it's where it is, I guess. So, without further ado, just to explain now, usually this was one piece, you know, going all the way across here. So now it's broken up, and this little smaller section will be for square. Since all Instax film is the same exact height, the only difference is you have mini, square, and wide, but they all have the slots, same distance, height apart. So that, I believe, I haven't put in a square pack yet, but that is where it's going to go. So I have here this is just a normal back, just to make sure the wide still works. I do have a picture I've already taken in it, and so you can see, let's see, you can see where that just goes right in the slot. Close it up, and on this particular camera, I don't even have to take a picture. This just the picture button here actually ejects a picture, so hopefully it will come on out. Let's see. Bingo. And in case you didn't already know, integral shoots, interestingly enough, the image comes through the back. That's why normally when I have my back integral camera with a back on it like this, the picture will be reversed. Like if you have lettering on a shirt, it'll be backwards, but that's what integral does. They figured out a way to shoot through the back, so the picture is actually like this when it, you know, I don't know how the magic works, but it does. So, and the name of the, I'll put the link, but the name of the company that makes these are out of France. It's, I think, called Big Reel something. I can't think of it off the name. I'll put the link for it. And we have here, which I'm going to try it out for the first time, is a pack of square, which I just happen to have a pack of this because I'm also getting a what's called a Magni 35 for my Nikon FM3A that is actually on the way. So normally I wouldn't even have this film, but alright, so as I understand it, just like everything else, you're going to raise this up so we can have a little bit. Just like the wide went, they have all Instaxes have a little, there it is, that little yellow tab. That's how I put this in there. So I assume square, oops, backwards that way. Yeah, raise this again. So all right. So it should go. There we go. We've got the dots aligned, and it does looks pretty well in the middle to me. And I guess, you know, once you close it, just tension holds it in there. And hopefully, fingers crossed, when I push the button, the dark slide will come out. And I will go ahead and sacrifice a picture just to make sure it works here. I'll be back, hopefully. Alright, I am back. I'm going to do a test shot of my Polaroid 180 here. It's pretty big and shiny, so it should suffice. I've already tested the light. It's 250th 9.5 f-stop for 800. I want to click the phone off real quick just so I can set up the shot. Alright, I am back. I shot 1/250th like I metered, 9.5, which this aperture is sliding, it doesn't click, it's a copal 0, so I put it as close as I could, 9.5. Click the shot, and before I eject, I'll mention one thing. They include this guide, and I'll scan this in as well, because as I mentioned, the Instax shoots through the back, so while, you know, when we put the guides on, the film pack's all the way over here, so you would think when you're looking through the viewfinder that you need to, oops, kick the camera, you need to compensate for that and, you know, shoot from the middle to the right. But as this guide mentions, it's actually the left. So, and it shows some different distances. Of course, this guide is showing, like, if you have the 210 camera, these frame lines. I have different frame lines on the 110, which are almost pretty spot on, because the wider, this used to take Polaroid roll film, which they don't make anymore. But it mentions how you need to, the further you get away, the more you need to, okay, yeah, see, there's the closest up. Wide square framing. So this is basically how I shot it. And I would say I probably shot it like this, so we'll see how mine came out, you know. And again, this is a guide for the 210 or 300. I just figure, I got it, I pretty much put the camera over near this frame line. And anyway, let's go ahead and keep our fingers crossed it ejects. Voila. And rather than make you all wait a couple of minutes, I will hit the kill switch and be back. Okay, I am back, and yeah, it looks like it worked well. Like I said, I framed it on the edge. You know, I didn't, and I put a couple of little toys in there just so we'd have some color besides the silver and black Polaroid camera. But yeah, it's sharp, just like I would expect. I mean, you know, it's a pretty simple concept, so other than remembering how to frame, everything else height-wise is the same. On here, I notice they kind of change the height suggestions as you get further away. I don't know that my camera has parallax correction, so I don't have to worry about that. But of course, on the 210 you do, so that's probably why they have that. But yeah, and you might ask, why would you want to shoot square in your wide camera? I mean, it just gives you options. You know, it's like a little mini 600, I guess, and it's cheaper. It was like 20 bucks for a 2-pack. Now it's down to 15, which is still the most expensive Instax for whatever reason. Wide is actually cheaper, even though it's, you know, wider. I actually had it on double, so I'll click out of that. Alright, so that's it. I'll put the link if you want to get one for yourself. It came in about, I'd say, 2 weeks from France. I have the, there it is. I have the little, hide that, my address, so you don't come and stalk me. But, yeah, €6 Euro, came in a little box. Has somebody else's address on the back. I guess he reused, which is good. All right. Until next time. Check you later.